Steinhorst. He is an expert in a very interesting topic, and he is the author of the book, Can I Have Your Attention? He is helping people, Curt, I know, is it truth or not, to stop, to stop being distracted.
You got it. That is only because I'm the chief in terms of being guilty of distraction over the course of my life. So it's become a mission over the last decade.
That is your mission. That is wonderful. I know that when you were a child, you have this ADD syndrome. It's how to pronounce this name, if you can explain that, please.
Yes, it's attention deficit disorder. It's a cognitive disorder that basically says focus is really difficult. And I came from a family that was, for the most part, the opposite, a very academic family. And so I had to learn a lot of workarounds.
That's why. And I know that you are the father of 3 kids.
That's right. I have a 2-year-old Ruby and a 4-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy.
Wow. So all boys?
No, yeah, Ruby is the girl, and then 2 boys that are her rambunctious older brothers.
That's wonderful. And you have 2 dogs?
We do. We have a little dog and a big dog, so just a very busy family.
It's a very busy family. It's already a lot of distraction, I can see. So my first question to you, how to focus? I know that you have a lot of shortcuts, and that is the most actually important thing. It's very difficult to focus nowadays because really we have emails, we have TV, we have TikTok, we have, I don't know what we have a lot of phones, and all people are really distracted. The thing is, to what extent you're distracted. Some people are that distracted that they're saying hello to the same person 3 times in a row. I mean, the level of distraction is huge. So how to focus? Can you explain to us, since you work with JP Morgan and other huge companies?
Yeah, so I think we first want to start by asking what distraction is, because there, like you said, there are levels of distraction, and sometimes what we say is a distraction is in fact it's a behavioral healthy necessity for human thriving. So not all distraction is bad. What we're really talking about is a lack of attentional control, that when we need to be focused on a task, we find ourselves back on TikTok. And so the dimensions that I really like to think about is that, number one, distraction comes from confusion about what matters. And so we have to define and understand. If we want focus, we have to start by creating the environment that can create clarity on what actually is the most important thing for that moment. And so I always want to start there by saying we aren't going to focus if we don't know what we're supposed to focus on. And then when we move forward, it really is about training our brain, creating barriers to things that would be attractive at the moment, just so that we give ourselves a chance to get into the type of focus, or what some would call flow, that's actually quite enjoyable when it comes to work.
You know, in your book, Can I Have Your Attention? I don't know, on the page 41 or something, you're saying that to focus, number one, there are 3 points, attention, and there are 3 points. Can you explain these points, please? You said that for focus, number one, you need energy.
Yes. So in that section of the book, I'm talking about some of the factors that shape our capacity for the executive function of our brain to maintain focus. And the first one is energy. And people often fail to recognize that the part of your brain that allows you to focus, it's energy exhaustive. Because if you think about it, if I'm in a jungle and I'm reading Shakespeare and I'm ignoring a lion coming at me, then I don't really have a long shelf life. Like, things aren't going to go well. So the simplest part of our brain is going to always seek out new and novel stimulus. We're always going to be attracted to the new thing. And so energy is really important because our brain runs largely on glucose. And so the more energy we have, the better we slept, the more we have eaten healthy, the better our exercise habits. All of these actually play a significant role. So energy is the first big factor. And then the next big factor is our environment. And actually, I cover 4 in that area. And environment just says what we see, our physical space. Is it distracting
You
us?
mean that,
or is
for
it not?
example, if I want to do my homework good today, I should be in a space, not in a jungle. It should be a peaceful room without many pictures, without many emails, without people screaming. It should be calm so I can concentrate only on my homework. Definitely it should be a place without lines and without jungle.
Yes, without threats for sure. Now, what's interesting there is it depends on the type of work you're doing. For more creative and abstract thinking, there is evidence that you want to be where you can see further out into the horizon, windows. You even have landscape images. There's also evidence that, particularly for certain types of people, that depending on the brain function, that actually do better in things like Starbucks, where there's background noise, but it's not close friends talking to them. It's strangers also making subtle noises that are somewhat predictable, but that subtle amount of stimulation can help. But overall, you definitely want to remove the things that, like sitting on your couch trying to do homework in the same place that you watch TV. You're confusing your body. Because your body your mind uses cues to say, when I'm here, I do this. And when you say I do both work and personal, that's when it gets really confusing.
So you mean that the people who are now working online, who are sitting in their kitchen where they get used to drink wine and to eat cheese, they're making mistake because it's not their office environment. They cannot work efficiently in the kitchen.
That's right. You want to separate your spaces as much as possible. And when you're in a situation that you can't, because some people can't based on where they live, then the other way you would do it is you'd create ritual. And this is actually the third factor. I call it experience, like your past experiences. So if you create a ritual where you say, I have to work in the same place I drink wine, but I'm going to start by doing, by putting on work clothes. I'm going to take a 10-minute walk where I clear my brain. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to grab my coffee. That the ritualization of that activity, and then the ritualization of closing that activity to open up a new chapter is the other piece that you can use if space can't be adjusted.
So we should be very careful by creating a nice atmosphere around us to do something professionally, nicely. There should be something, yeah? You were saying in one of your books or in the interview that curiosity, actually, it's a very good thing. And we are made to be curious because we are human. How to use this curiosity? Because I'm curious, okay, in Starbucks, somebody passing by, what a beautiful lady, what a nice bag, what a nice shoes, halas. In Arabic, that means that's it. I cannot concentrate anymore. And but I'm curious. How to stop this curiosity and start working?
Yeah, well, there's two areas I would say that we want to look into this. One is that curiosity is an aspect of attention that is actually what creates human thriving. It's what makes us great, and it is a different aspect than the type of zoomed in focus where I'm knocking out 20 things on my to-do list. When I'm grinding away at writing, for instance. So really what I would say is, when it comes to curiosity, we want to create rhythms in our work that allow for zoomed in, and then we pull out and we take breaks that allow for our mind to create new connections and to rest. And so in that sense, it's really about saying, what activities can allow for curiosity to thrive rather than it be stifled. And what I mean by that is we've replaced what the human mind needs in terms of curiosity, which is low stimulation, with filling every moment that we're not focusing with just massive, rapid information consumption, which actually stifles curiosity because we don't have access to those ideas, don't move from short-term to long-term memory. And it keeps us from being able to move back into the focus zone well. So it's really about saying, how do I make sure the breaks when I'm not zoomed in are filled with what can actually be restorative, which involves, taking a walk, journaling, having a conversation, not just consuming.
So it's very interesting. That means if we are consuming, it's the way we are overeating. We are overeating information. We are overeating candies. It's dangerous for our teeth. But overeating information, as I understood, it's also dangerous.
That's right. On average, we're consuming 500% the amount of information as someone in 1990. And our brain has what's called cognitive load, which is the amount of information you can put in short-term memory before nothing goes to long-term. So we're consuming, and it's actually hindering our focus. It's hindering our ability to master concepts. It's hindering our ability to actually relax. Once you're used to high stimulation, low stimulation becomes challenging, and it makes us all seem like we have ADD.
Really? Do you think, Curt, is it connected? Like people now are saying we are very lonely, we don't have friends, there are a lot of divorces, people cannot stay with the same person for a long time because actually we were having this conversation now with my friends when they were saying this so easy to find somebody on Tinder and on other, it's easy to meet somebody. That's why it's easy to change somebody. So you think that this stimulation with information, it's affecting not only our business life, but even our life in general?
Yeah, the interesting aspect of the research, when you look across academic research, I'm working on a large project with Michigan State right now, is that most research on attention and focus is less about work performance. It's more about cognitive disorders. And really, the lack of attentional control is associated with anxiety. It's associated with what's called ruminating thoughts. We return to unhealthy thoughts we have no control over. When we lose control of our focus, when we need more stimulation, we lose the ability to have deep quality relationships because those take extended, undivided attention. It's the way we define love. Like if I give you my full attention, that says I value you. What we give our attention to is what we value. And so what ends up happening is we live this fragmented life that is a victim of external sources rather than external forces rather than internal forces. And relationships are one of the many things that go when it comes.
So actually it's very, very dangerous. It's like a clip mind. Your mind become like a clip. You can only watch clips. You cannot watch a deep movie. You cannot read a good book. You cannot even go into relationship because your mind become like a clip. You need only 30 seconds. If it's 3 hours, you are not able to. So what to do? Can you give us like small recommendation? Okay, how many, I know it's not easy and maybe it sounds funny or stupid to you, but like how you will tell me, okay, watch your smartphone only 3 hours a day and answer your emails only once a day. Is there any thing like if you can say in few sentences?
Yeah. Number one, there's nothing that beats mindfulness or meditation. 10 minutes a day has proven to have a real significant impact. The second one, I found most people struggle when they try to set boundaries that are relatively low. Like I'm only going to check my phone every little while. It kind of works. I instead recommend full digital detoxes and some sort of a rhythm in the context of a community that agrees. Like doing it on your own doesn't work. But say every Sunday or once a quarter, we're going to take 3 or 4 days. But it's actually the rhythm of getting fully out of it for at least a day that can help to reset. And I frankly recommend it like 3 or 4 days, or, we do once a year. I do a full week. Then throughout the year, we do weekly. Every Sunday we do it. We basically for an 8-hour period, no technology. And so just creating rhythms to get out of it actually gives you a lot of control when you jump back in.
Wow, this is so easy to do. It's not impossible. It's not a rocket science, but it's so beautifully said. And really, I'm happy to know that. On the weekdays, I switch off my phone for 2 days because all other days I'm always working. And it's only days for kids. And they told me, wow, Mama loves us much more than phone. And they said, are you ready to throw it and to put it in the garbage? I said, yes, of course. I love you and admire you a million times more than the phone, because it's even dangerous for kids when they see the parent always with the phone. Imagine they will think that parents love the phone more than them. And that is also very dangerous. So, okay, thank you so much. The tip number 1 is to do this detox. Number 2, is there any rule? Maybe it's better to check, if possible, of course, your emails only once a day rather than to check them 7 times a day and always trying to catch up. Like, is there any recommendation from your side?
Yeah. So I want to start right before that. And I think the best practice for taking control of your email is really starts with how do I start my day by defining what success looks like and what I really want to aim towards. There's interesting research that shows that when we envision what we're aiming for, unconsciously, we will avoid distractions more. So I start by saying, this is what I want to make successful. And then I use my calendar, not my inbox, as my home screen. Like I match the tasks I need to do to time and include rhythms of checking email throughout. It's, some people it can be once a day. Some people, they need to check it every hour, but they put a 5-minute in. But I would just say, like, let's let your calendar run your day. Don't let your inbox run your day.
So that's a smart way. You recommend be a leader of your day. Not all these distractions will lead, because somebody will say, oh, go watch this soap opera. This is amazing. Olga, look, this is such a beautiful actress. Ay. You look like her. Oh, and at the end of the day, my God, Mamma Mia, the day is finished already and you did nothing. So you recommend instead of that, there is a calendar. Maybe even in this calendar, I can put 10 minutes for watching a soap opera or for watching something. Yeah. Can it be like that?
That's right. Breaks are, people imagine a perfect day and the only person who could achieve it is a robot. Like, yeah, give yourself breaks. Be realistic. That makes success be something that you can achieve, not just the assurance of failure at the end of the day, every day.
Okay. And my last question to you, what is the biggest distraction for you now? Is it your daughter or your kids or your wife or 2 dogs? Like, what is you're a specialist in not being distracted. What is the biggest challenge for you, Curt, personally?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. A lot of these baseline, in my baseline things are now just rhythms and habits. So we have a really great dialogue in our family. Of course, my daughter will come in occasionally, but I have a door that closes. They know when I'm out, that I'm not available. I'm fully available. I'm fully focused on them when I come out. So you can win a lot with your kids by giving them bursts of your full attention, far more than you can just continuously giving them part of it. It says a lot more to them. So for me, I would say my biggest distractions are the allure of exciting and interesting opportunities. So it's more into the evaluation of of how much is realistic that I can accomplish, and really making sure I'm focused on the things that I do really well. Because I love new ideas. I love new opportunities, partnerships, collaborations. These are the things that I have to worry about.
That is wonderful to know. I want to thank you very much. I really enjoyed talking to you. I think that you are a great father who loves kids and who is a very curious person. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your behavior and by your book. And that is amazing how you turn curiosity into changing people's life, because with this ADD syndrome, you know yourself better than anybody else, that distraction is the most terrible thing and focus is the amazing thing. I remember I was doing one conference in Dubai for women SME, and the girl who was the most successful, he got the best investments. Everybody asks her, how did you manage to attract these millions of dollars? And she said, I was not focused. I was laser focused. And that was interesting, that her mind was like a laser. She was not only focused, she was laser focused. And that is interesting. Secrets from Curt Steinhorst. Thank you for being with us. I enjoyed our talk very much. Good luck to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Me too.
And good say